Peace and love. Gemstar in the building, Gemstar in the building. Yo, are we as a nation getting played by the media and by the government to fulfill an agenda? Are we being brainwashed here? I'm thinking about the subway shooting that happened in Brooklyn the other day. Right? This guy named was Frank James, who shot like 13 people. They didn't kill him, but shot all these people up in the subway. And they got him on camera, but they can't catch this man. You shoot these people up, nobody get killed. And I remember on the news, they was talking about there was a lot of bombs that was supposed to be haven't been detonated yet that they found on Manhattan-bound trains and the Queens trains and all other stuff just the other day. Now they're saying there aren't any bombs. Nobody was killed or murdered, but all these people were injured. He let off a canteen that let off all this type of smoke. Okay, and started shooting. And then they got this man on camera walking off the subway in a reflective vest, easily to spot, easy to catch. And he's still not caught. They still got a manhunt for him. They still got a bounty reward of what, around $15,000? And he still hasn't been caught in New York City, home of 9/11. There's cameras everywhere in New York City. They got cameras straight. There's so many red flags in this situation that makes me think this thing is all of a hoax to fulfill an agenda. New York City's like a precinct. You can't do nothing in New York City. Can't even barely have a gun in New York City. Police have equipment that detect you carrying a firearm in New York City within a few feet away from you. Now you in a subway train, and this is not home of 9/11, mind you. We've experienced terrorist attacks after terrorist attacks, 2 World Trade Center bombings, so many different massacres that happened in New York City and Penn Station and all across the board, the bridges, the tunnels, everything like that. They got this man on camera and they have enough information on this man that they know this man's first and last name, Frank James, know what he looked like with a orange reflective vest walking out the subway, and he still hasn't got caught. Is he an agent? Thanks to Star kind of exposing the situation, the Star report. Can he be an agent? Because there's so many red flags, it doesn't seem real. It seems like we're being bamboozled. We be being ran amok, like Malcolm X used to say back in the days. We're being brainwashed and manipulated to fulfill an agenda. I agree with Star. Can this be a setup? Now, things that he didn't say, I'm about to say. But I think, just like Star brought up, as far as like Joe Biden, just the day prior, was talking about gun control, right? And every time they talk about gun control, they bring forth some sort of mass hysteria to create a frenzy, to create fear by having a school attack, like the Sandy Hook situation or Columbine, whatever, to try to get gun control in order. Or they'll create a 9/11, bombing the World Trade Center and all other stuff and blaming on enemies that's not really our enemies, to bring forth the Patriot Act, to take away your rights as far as your right to privacy. That's how 9/11 came about, when they bombed the World Trade Center. I remember all of this. I experienced all of this. Is this a remix of the 93 Long Island Railroad Massacre with Colin Ferguson. It's the same scenario. Same exact scenario. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, the 93 Long Island Railroad Massacre was where Colin Ferguson was a Caribbean immigrant, maybe Jamaican descent, whatever. But he was Caribbean. He's an immigrant. Just like this guy, Frank James, is an immigrant. We both from Brooklyn. Okay? Well, it took place in Brooklyn, you could say. Frank James, they say they traced him all the way back to Philly, where he got this U-Haul truck, right? Thanks to Ebony Gordon, peace. She out in Philly. She know the story. Shout out to Ebony. I seen on the news that they confirmed everything Ebony said. Got this U-Haul truck. Came out there to Brooklyn. Okay? Through all the bridges and tunnel tolls and the easy passes, all the stuff, he came all the way to Brooklyn and commit this heist. Okay? Shot all these people up where the feds know his home background history as far as like how many rounds he purchased for his gun from a pawn shop 10 years ago. You got all this information about this man, his origin, where he's from, type of gun he had, how many rounds he purchased to commit this crime from 10 years ago, and you got this man on video surveillance walking away from the act, and you still never captured this man? New York City is a police state. There's more undercovers, more task force, narcs, detectives. They got so many law enforcement, more than civilians in New York City. You can't even sell a pack without their permission. You can't sell anything in New York City without the government surveillance, watching and knowing who you are and without their permission, pretty much. Everybody wear wires, everybody pretty much working for the feds and working for police just to cooperate, to keep the lighter sentences and to keep investigations going. New York City got law enforcement and cab drivers, as fire department, as people that work in coffee shops and all the other stuff, just to watch people and put people under surveillance. You can't do anything in New York City. The camera game is on another level out there. It's like you in China, the way they surveillance you in New York City. It's a police state. Robert De Niro came and get a gun in New York City. The gun laws are so tight and they so thirsty to bag somebody in New York City. It's that tight. For him not to catch this man coming from Philly, doing that on camera, brings forth a lot of red flags. Is this a remix for the 93 Long Island Railroad Massacre with Colin Ferguson? Colin Ferguson said he was chipped by the government, put a microchip in his head and implanted that to him to commit these heinous acts, racial acts toward white people. I remember Colin Ferguson clearly because when the situation happened, I ran down the street with everybody else just to see what's going on when the train got shot up. You know what I mean? I remember that clearly. He killed like 6 people and wounded like 19 others. This guy, Frank James, I think he just wounded like 13 people or something like that. Nobody got killed. If you trying to commit a terrorist act and you just wound people, is this in a scenario, a role play for agenda to be fulfilled? Create mass hysteria, old school democratic tactics. Old school tactics. Create hysteria to get agenda to be fulfilled, like take away your gun laws, take away your gun rights. Because Biden just said that he wants to gain more gun control. He promoted more gun control laws just the day before. And this situation happened. Something seemed fishy. Could this be the government doing this, manipulating us to take away your rights and your freedom, to control you, to access another vote? You know, in hindsight, in reality, New York City already has crazy gun control laws as it is. It can't get any worse. You can't carry a butter knife in New York City. You can't carry a butter knife in New York City, yet alone a gun. Yeah, people get guns from Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? That's the closest spot where they go to the warehouses and get that and transfer that through. They go to the gun shows, or they go down to Georgia and VA and all that stuff and traffic it underground market that way. Yeah. Almost like you forced to have a gun because we can't depend or trust police. They don't really care for you. They more corrupt than the criminals as far as the police and the feds, especially toward the minorities in Black America. You know, you'd rather be caught with it than without it. The average mentality of New Yorkers is, I'd rather be carried by 6 with the gun than judged by 12. I'd rather die with it. You know what I'm saying? I said it wrong. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. My apologies. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's the whole fact. That's the mentality in New Yorkers. We can't trust police in New York City. They're more corrupt than anything. It's like once they put on that blue suit and put on that badge, they think they bionic. They get beside themselves and they want to try to do abnormal things and think they above the law. You know what I'm saying? Especially the black ones. The black ones worse than the white ones. They do anything for their master. That's a whole nother topic. You know what I'm saying? But the average people in New York City have that mentality where I'd rather have it with it I'd rather be caught with it than without it. You know what I'm saying? Because you dealing with too many enemies, too many ops. You living amongst projects, slumlords, all in the slums. You dealing with gangs. You dealing with all different types of stuff in there where you a target. You fooled by the police and you fooled by your own peers. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mentality. But I think there's an agenda being fulfilled here by Joe Biden. And they're using New York City again as the major headliner to promote gun control in this country because it's the most populated. Everybody freely amongst the streets. Everybody depend on more public transportation as far as subways and everything like that. Everybody live on top of each other in projects. It's like 15 to 30 stories high compared to anywhere else in the country. The most condensed. So it's a perfect plot and a perfect place for a crime, such as COVID, such as whatever. NYC, that's the place to groom these type of things, events, to manipulate the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? So, if you look at the Colin Ferguson massacre, you know what I'm saying? You can get a better understanding where I'm coming from when it comes down to these agendas being fulfilled in New York City. You know, it's like a rerun from the Long Island Railroad massacre. You know what I'm saying? It's a rerun. Everything about it is a rerun. So, man, I think we need to wake up and see the truth from the lies. You know what I'm saying? Be awake and be aware of what's going on, and don't fall for every little thing, no matter how well they disguise it as if they're supposed to be for you. Don't trust nobody. Don't trust nothing with the system or the agenda. It's not for you, yo. They're there to control you, to enslave you, and they'll use you as a pawn to get their agenda across. They use you, your death, as a way to get the agenda across. You're just a pawn to them. That's a whole fact. You know what I mean? It's another blackface tactic. Why every time they make an agenda across, it got to be some immigrant minority or a black man that did these type of heinous crimes to get agenda across? That's how much, on a racial aspect, that's how much they don't like the minorities in this country. They'll use us for the example for everything. Now all of a sudden he got to be a Caribbean immigrant or a Jamaican immigrant, whatever he is, that did the same as Colin Ferguson in the Long Island Railroad Massacre. He's a Caribbean immigrant. They look at us as expendable. And to prove my point, look at this. We as a nation, black Americans, was fighting so much for reparations, right? And we never got our reparations at all. Tariq Nasheed been fighting to get these reparations going on for blacks to get some sort of equal financial justice in this country, or to be acknowledged or honored in this country. Okay? That out there in California, I think it was Palm Springs, California, they granted reparations for transvestites over us in this country. Just because you're a transvestite, you get paid monthly, each month, a monthly salary for being a transvestite in Palm Springs, California as a reparations. Where's our reparations at? They all honor the transvestites over you. Just like Obama honored the gay community over you as a black person in America. As far as getting rights and getting privilege. They honored the Chinese as far as getting rights and everything. You can't say anything about the Asian community without repercussions being sent across you. But where's our civil liberties? Where's our rights? Where's our equal, fair financial gain in this country? We don't get no credit. We don't get anything. They use us at blackface tactics. You know what I'm saying? They use us as the token, poster child, should I say, for whatever agenda to be fulfilled in this country at our expense, and we don't get anything out of it, but everybody else benefits off of us. It's sad, man. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. The transvestites in California get reparations and we don't get nothing. That's how much they honor them over you. How they honor everybody else over you. But here, your boy Biden wants your black vote. Just because you're black. You don't mean nothing. It's just because of your skin color, he expects to vote from you. That's the racist mentality that he has. And he's using these tactics by using a black man to do a heinous crime, such as the Brooklyn shooting, subway shooting, to get his gun control agenda across. You see the tactics? No one else is saying it like I'm saying it now. This is all me saying this. You see the tactics? Joe Biden is using a terroristic plot by using New York City example. An immigrant, black minority immigrant, to fulfill this gun control crisis in America. Same as the Sandy Hook situation and everything else. Caliban, everything. It's the same old plot, same old tactic. And Colin Ferguson, in his trial, exposed that. In his trial, he said he was chipped. He was chipped to do this thing. He was brainwashed to force to do this thing. That wasn't his right mind. He was altered. We hear all too much evidence about MK Ultra with these celebrities. All these conspiracy theories with these celebrities, with MK Ultra, being brainwashed to do certain things beyond their control. You see so many evidence on YouTube for you to be having a blind eye and be in denial on a lot of things. So it's not far-fetched. If they did that in 93 and used him as a crash dummy to get a point across, and people got elected off of gun control and other things off of that situation, it's the same old trick, same old tactics. This is the 2022 remix version of the 93 Long Island Railroad massacre. Same people in play. 2 minority immigrants creating heinous acts against white America to get gun control violence in effect. Same tactics, same tricks. It's the old dog, old trick scenario. And we're the ones falling for it. On another note, I think you understand where I'm coming from. Just keeping your third eye open. And don't fall for none of these things that you listen to in the media. Because a lot of stuff be brainwashed, bro. You know what I'm saying? The other day they said they found so many bombs that wasn't detonated in different trains in Manhattan and Queens and Brooklyn. Now all of a sudden ain't no bombs. You don't know what to believe in. How's all of a sudden ain't no bombs? Now he just used a smoke canister to perform his act with firecrackers now. That's the scenario. Nobody got murdered. There's another city, other people would have got murdered. It's crazy, man. You see the tactics? The tactics is real, man. Yo, shout out to Benzino. Benzino was out there in Georgia, Brazelton, Georgia. I know the area well. And he gets arrested for, he pretty much was rolled up to his baby mom's house and caught her creeping with some side dude. You know what I'm saying? He was with his son, or went to see his son on the tennis court. See some dude in a red pickup truck coming to creep and check her. And he goes at him. He gets out all irate, out of control, wanted to beat the man up. The man was a licensed firearm carrier. Luckily, he ain't pop a hot one to him. Because down here in Georgia, they don't play that. You come at somebody, you run up on somebody's car, and he a licensed carrier, he got the right to pop you. That order up north tactics don't work down here in the South. They don't play that. You bring in all that thug, out of control, I'm crazy type of image down south, they ain't trying to heal of that. So he lucky he got spared a hot one. But Benzino, if you see your side piece, and I know emotionally it hurts, or your baby mom, should I say, I know it hurts. You know what I'm saying? But you see it creeping like that, it's over, bro. Ain't no point fighting. Don't even let her get that much power over you, man. I know it's hard. Emotionally, it's hard. But for you to fight this man, whether he intentionally knew or not, 9 times out of 10, another dude ain't going to try to come up to nobody's crib knowing any man is dead. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't know that you was dead because he would never came through. No man gonna put their life on the line to see another female knowing their husband or their baby father over there is over there. She's stupid and shows so much of a thought she could have just took her privacy and went to a hotel or somewhere over there, especially if you know the type of man your baby father, you know the type of dude you dealing with. If you know you've been involved and entangled in this man for over 10 years or whatever plus, and you entertaining this man and he thinking he got a chance, that's why he coming over there all the time. Why would you bring some side piece over to your crib? You asking for drama. You lucky Benzino ain't have his gun on him because he probably would have killed both of y'all. The way how angry and irate he was uncontrollable. He couldn't even sit down. He couldn't even get his emotions in control. The police kept giving him chance after chance to calm down, chill out. And that made him not credible because he was a high rate. If you act more civilized and spoke in a professional manner, in a controllable manner, maybe you probably wouldn't have went to jail. Because you don't know if they're lying on him or not. The witnesses said that he punched the man's truck up on the side door a few times and all other stuff. You know what I mean? Damaged the side door, punching it up. You know what I mean? Benzino got his shirt off. You acting all wild. You a big dude. You cut up. Uncontrollable with these tattoos. The police gonna look at you as a threat. Like, oh, you the problem automatically. They try to give you chance after chance to calm down and you still not even paying attention to the signs that work with them. You making yourself look more non-credible in your statement. The dude that came up there, he calm, relaxed, didn't know they, you know what I'm saying? He was talking reasonable to the police, and he made his story look more credible. And because he's more relaxed and calm and non-threatening, it makes your case look like you the problem. And regardless how you feel by you not cooperating police, you deserve to get kind of locked up just to calm you down. It shows you, man, like the signs is right there. She ain't rocking with you like that, but she entertaining you. I know it's hard. That's your baby mom. You trying to work it out off and on, and I blame her. I blame her. You know what I'm saying? She probably wanted y'all to fight or do something just to make her feel more valuable and important. You know what I'm saying? She a pretty girl. She ain't all of that to be worth risking your life over. You almost died off of this girl. And for what? She still would have been moving on to the next person. So what's the point? You going to jail off this girl, she showed clear signs that she ain't rocking with you. Will Smith, pay attention to this situation. Pay attention to Jada. She got the same tactics like Althea is with Benzino. You know what I'm saying? These dudes going all out, putting their heart, soul for these girls, being manipulated, being deceived, thinking they got a chance. These girls entertaining and leading this person on. Yeah, a lot of people lose their minds off it. But you need to move on to save your life, man. You see she's doing some funny style stuff. As much as you want to hold on to her, you got to pay attention and look at reality. Stop being denial in your own mindset. If it ain't working, keep it pushing. There's too many women out there that'll be for you, man. You know what I'm saying? I know it's your baby moms, but she give you that type of disrespect and mistreatment, keep it pushing, man. Only deal with those that will accept you and be supportive for you. That's the whole fact. Keep it pushing, man. Benzino, you a celeb, you got money. You know what I'm saying? You got your thing, but you've been in the limelight lately over some real foul stuff lately, man. It's not looking good for you, man. You don't want to end up in jail for real, serving some prison time over these females or false allegations about you being gay or whatever. I know you from the old school 1990s era where that was shunned and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But stop letting these people get in your head, man. You know what I mean? Stop trying to move emotionally because they're going to, once they find your buttons to push, they're going to keep pushing them all the time until you explode, bro. And that's what they doing. Look, you wind up in jail over this chick. And she ain't even worth it. She a nice figure, but she ain't all of that to be going over. You Benzino, man. You get whoever chick you want. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing, yo. They act that way. Keep it pushing, man. Get somebody that'll respect you and before you, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't worth it at the end of the day. I know it hurt that that's your baby moms and you established a lot, but if she's showing them type of signs, keep it pushing, man. Whole fact. You can get any girl you want, man. And that's what I'm learning too, man. You know what I'm saying? My personal situation, yo, I got to learn to push the rest of the stuff to the side and keep it moving, man. Things don't work out? Okay, well, it ain't work out. That ain't going to be the end of the world for me. You know what I'm saying? So, that's all I'm saying. Easy.